What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking all about how to play as Thorn. We're going to be talking all about the 1.5 scope edition and basically everything about Thorn with involving your utility and how to play well and rank up while playing as Thorn. Let's get to it, yeah? I thought I trolled. Alright, let's go through Thorn's loadout. You have the U7K as well as the M80. Honestly, both are decent options because your secondary is going to be C75 auto. You can run this pistol, but highly recommend the C75 auto. It can have an optic, but in a pinch, it will be a lot better off than just a normal pistol. So just spray towards them and you'll be way better off. So when it comes to these primaries, most of the time you're going to be leaning on this, especially with this getting a 1.5 scope. So I would personally run a 1.5 scope on this when it is out. Then you have the option of a flash hider as well as an extended barrel. So personally, I would rather just run a flash hider on this because 36 damage to 40, and yeah, that is a significant increase. But you can just see off that recoil pattern, it is going to buck up a lot more, and especially with an optic, it is going to be a little bit harder to control. So I'd rather just run a flash hider and make sure it is very stable and you're still able to 3-shot 2 armors as well as 1 armors. So it's not going to make a massive difference unless you're shooting at a 3 armor, I believe, but even then it's kind of a shrug. I would definitely just run a flash hider and make sure it is as stable as possible. And vertical grip angled, I mean, this is obvious. Vertical grip angled is bad now. So, and then you have a shield and barbed wire. So Thorn already gets 3 traps, what kind of work like proximity mines, so the ratting from the enemies is already going to be hampered with your ability. So it is honestly decent to run her with a shield, especially in comp like Pro League, CL, whatever. A lot of people are going to be running Thorn for the shield, but barbed wire is a good option. Now let's talk about Thorn's ability, the Razor Bloom shells. So it takes that long to activate, and once it goes all the way up, boom, it's ready to be deployed. When an enemy walks it over to it, it will start to activate, and if they're within the radius, they'll take damage. If they're close enough, it will kill them outright. If they're farther away, they'll take a percentage of damage. It probably won't kill them, but it will hurt them quite a bit. So best places to use the Razor Blooms are in situations where they physically have to basically run away. They either have to run away or aggress. So here, amazing spot for a Razor Bloom because they jump in the window, they hit the Razor Bloom, so they either A, have to turn around, jump out, B, turn around and try to find it and shoot it, or C, they just run through it and expose themselves to everything in this area. So another spot I would use would be like boom, because you won't be able to see it because you can throw it on the ceiling, on the walls, etc. And they walk down here, it'll trigger, which will force them to do A, B, or C again. Either run back, look for it, and shoot it. And if they don't shoot it, then they die, or to run through it and expose themselves to everything. And the last one I would use would probably be like right here. Boom. They jump that again, and then I could play like around the VIP area, and with barbed wire, just make it really annoying for them to push through the back. And I can just hold this very easily. Boom, boom, boom. I can swing the hallway if they're in bakery. With a flashlight, this gun is extremely stable. I mean, look at this. Extremely stable with the 1X in the flash hider. Can't wait to get my hands on the 1.5 because it's going to make Thorn a powerhouse. Thorn is probably going to be the go-to operator if you're trying to drop kills. Like, I know Warden was a go-to operator for a while, but I feel like Thorn is going to take his place in the coming future. So here's how easy it is to open up a hole with Thorn's gun. Extremely easy, extremely fast. Make a hole, boom. Won't be able to do that quickly in a pinch, but it will make it easier to, you know, make the line of sight when you need to, if you don't want to have to wait for someone that has a bailiff or whatever. So I can just make a line of sight so I can watch that reception door like so. There's multiple ways of playing as Thorn. Most of the time you're going to be either a soft roamer or a hard roamer. So hard roamer being really far from the site and a soft roamer being pretty close to the site. Most of the time I will opt to be more of a soft roamer, and I'll leave 2 traps down and have 1 in my pocket just in case I need to use anything like on the fly, because they're going to drone out whatever, you know, they're going to drone everything out and deal with utility. And you know, I can just like run over and like just huck 1 in the middle of the round. They won't walk through that door. They walk through wildly, I'll just pre-fire like that. If they run back, then you know, they walk through that door. They're not going to stay there. They're going to either run back and be scared from the razor bloom of dying to it, or they're going to push all the way over. If they push all the way over, you just follow them and take them out. What I like about the C75, honestly, it is a really good secondary. I know the primary doesn't have that many shots in the gun, but secondary more than makes up for it. This gun will take people out. Iron sights do make it hard, but as long as you're aiming pretty low, like most of the time we'll aim crouch head height with this gun, because if you're aiming head height and they're crouching, you're not even going to see them. So I'll aim like crouch head height, and if they are standing, I mean, I'll just shoot up to them. All right, going through some Thorn clips now. Here I'm on cam, and this gun does crazy damage to the body, so even a firefight like that is going to be extremely easy to use. 1.5 scope or 1x. I mean, honestly, you can get away with running either, but Thorn is going to be a wrecking ball of destruction with that 1.5 scope. They take a firefight there, teammate goes down, and instead of overly aggressing there, I decided to rotate around instead of just, you know, potentially dying there. Another teammate goes down, 2v3 now. We rotate to drums to try to help out my teammate who's trying to hold off Geisha. I figured one's probably gonna walk up brown, and he was, and we catch the guy off. So I hear a call, 1 outside Geisha and 1 underneath, so I'm gonna watch the staircase. The guy is gonna walk up black though. Black staircase down the hallway, that right there. So teammate goes down to the Geisha, and I take out another one like so, and the other guy is outside Geisha, about to come inside. So I hold a little off angle where he might not expect me to be, waiting for the firefight. 1 shot now, and Barry's taking him out after that position. Okay, so when I play as Thorn, I like putting a lot of holes in the floor. If I'm playing vertical, like see, there's an angle right there, which we'll go to in a second. Yep. So you can make these holes very easily with your primary, just a couple shots through the wall or the floor, and you'll be able to make kill holes very easily. Every defender is able to do this with the primary, obviously, but Thorn's gun does make these holes incredibly quickly, so you can do them on the fly a lot faster, or I mean, you can just make a bunch of kill holes when you need to. Because again, Thorn doesn't have a shotgun, but you do have a lot of traps, and you can also have barbed wire or a shield. So here's how I like to use the traps most of the time. So razor bloom starts to go off. I place 2 up top on my flank so I could watch the vertical easily, and if either of them went off, I know that there's someone up top. One starts to go off. So when people play off of these traps, most of the time they're either A, going to rush forward to get out of the trap's radius, or B, they're going to fall back to where they came from. Always assume they're going to do the first one, where they're going to rush forward. So here, okay, I'm ready. There's someone's about to come up top. I have my gun up, and the guy does swing out, but we do win the firefight very easily. And for the final clip, roaming on Nighthaven Labs. Here, one coming in from the storage area. I'm under me, he doesn't really know I'm above him. I jump down, a little messy, but this gun does a lot of damage to the body, so we are more than fine there. Start to get pushed, I fall back a bit. I realize my flank is good, so I double back. The 1.5 scope holding angles in rooms like this are going to be way easier. I see the blitz ADSing me, but I wait for the guy coming up. We take that guy out. I'm not too worried about the blitz pushing up, because if he does push up, I will just shoot his lower body if he sprints at me. So as long as I keep my distance, I am more than fine. Blitz is working down that staircase. I wait for the guy following up, and the blitz tries to ADS me, and we take him out as well. That is it for Thorn today. Thorn is going to be a crazy fragging powerhouse for the defensive lineup with her 1.5 scope on her primary, an amazing backup sidearm, and then her traps capable of corralling the attackers into however you want, and potentially you will get kills with these traps. There are a lot of operators that have better traps than Thorn in terms of like outright fragging someone or like stopping the rat plays like Legion. But her traps paired with the crazy weaponry that she's going to have is honestly makes her bar none. She is going to be the operator that people are going to lean on in terms of just outright taking down the other team, in terms of just putting them down before they really have a chance to do anything. So definitely going to see a lot more Thorn players running around. It's going to be kind of like how Warden was, but with Warden's ability, his ability is good sometimes, but I can think of almost every situation where Thorn's ability is going to be, her Razor Blooms are going to be somewhat useful, if not fairly useful. So, all right, guys, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and leave a like down below for more. Until next time, peace out.